Hello and welcome to the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. And joining me right here on this wonderful setup here that they got is Wanted Stranger. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Thank you. Going well. Thank you. Yourself?
I am wonderful. Thank you to Ron. Thank you to Tony and everybody that's on that call there for taking the time to come on the show today. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So, why don't we start by telling everyone a little bit about you and how you got started in music?
Well, myself, my mom and dad always has been involved with music. My grandparents was always involved with music. My uncle played with Earl Scruggs and the banjo, probably in the 50s and the late 40s. And it's just the whole family's been involved. And of course, I met Tony in the 80s. And what about you, brother?
Me, I've been playing. I started on stage when I was 7, and I've been playing pretty much on stage and recording sessions ever since. And it started out in a country music band and learned the ropes as I went up, and here I am today, older but still learning.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, is there something in particular that you love about music, Ron?
I love all music, and I love listening to it. I love singing to it. I can't dance, but I do dance to it, especially when I'm alone. But no, it's just music's in my blood. I don't know. I used as a child, as a kid, when I was growing up, I listened to the radio 24/7. So the WFHG, the Amazing AM.
And for you, Tony?
Music's been a lifeblood for me. I've enjoyed it. I've listened to it, but it's also seemed like a friend that's been there. When I was down, when I was up, wherever I was at, there was some song or some kind of music that was always there too. And my wife kind of says it could be my mistress if she wasn't careful. So it's been a part of my life, and it's just floated the whole way. Yeah.
If you had the opportunity, well, I guess if you both had the opportunity to duet or collaborate with any singer, either alive or dead, who would you choose and why?
Myself,
Go right ahead, Ron.
Karen Carpenter. Although I can't do that, but
Yeah.
her voice was just true tone.
I guess if I had to choose, there's so many of them that I could pick. But one I think I would really enjoy doing a duet and working with would be Marty Robbins.
Yeah.
I really like his style and like his music.
But there's a lot of them. There's so many influences out there.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
From the time I was a young man to now, it was so many influences and too many to name, really.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many choices. Like, it's really hard for a lot of people I ask that question for, and they get stumbled upon it. So,
Yeah, Steve Warner's always been a big influence. I always felt he was underrated too. And, he toured with Chet Atkins and mentored with him.
so why don't you tell us a little bit about any upcoming projects or singles you guys got going on? Go ahead, Ron.
Well, we do have a few. You want to tell them about the new song you just wrote that we're fixing to do, the One More Round?
Yeah, we're as we go into our new project, and we're process pretty much of collecting songs right now, figure out what we want exactly on it, and one of them we're looking at is it's funny. It's called One More Round, and it was one I enjoyed writing because it came out of it came out of my son picking on me that I was getting too old. And he stayed out. Dad, you're getting old. Don't you want to just stay on the porch? Not right. I said, well, when you decide to run with the big dogs, I'll stay on the porch. But what the song's about is just about that. It's about I'm not going down without one more round. So son, move over. I'm not through yet, But that's one that's going to be on our new project, plus a few others that we're still trying to decide on. So yeah, we've got some interesting things coming up.
Awesome, awesome. What do you guys like doing outside of music? Do you have any hobbies, Ron?
Well, I do, but music and work pretty much takes up the majority of my time. But yeah, we like to motorcycle and we like to boat and listen to music. We'll even go listen to other bands or just anything outdoor. But most of the time, if we're not gigging, I'm at home resting for the next gig.
So it takes more rest than it used to. So we got to catch up with ourselves. That's pretty much what I like to do. We pretty much do a lot of the same things. when I'm not playing, I like to go listen or, pick out something, or I'm always thinking of what we could do next or what song I like or want to learn, or just sit down and practice. Or my wife and I will either go out or we travel somewhere to see a concert, and things that we just enjoy now.
Yes, concerts are always the best, especially with when we had COVID, it sucked that we didn't have any in-person concerts, it was all virtual.
And that's one reason I set all this up,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can actually stream our concerts, because I've got
there you go.
I've got a live drum set here.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a live stage over here with a screen behind us.
There you go.
We've got multiple cameras. So we're ready to stream live in case we go through another epidemic.
Well, that's good. That's good. That must have cost you a fortune. I don't even want to know.
There's a considerable investment. Anytime you get involved with music, just be prepared to lay out the money, because there's hardly been any income. We have hardly no revenue for our music. We everything we make, it all goes right back into the band. So that's the only way we can have anything.
Mm-hmm. That's why, especially, when like people like you, independent artists, and stuff like that, it's a little bit harder for us because we're more independent and we do everything ourselves. But, my, oh my, you guys did really good with that. Went all out. I love it.
Oh, great. Thank you. And we produced our CD right here.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is like your little studio area then.
Yeah, this is our live practice, our live delivery, and our we've got sound barriers we bring out and isolate everything and make it into a studio.
There you go. Do you have any advice to those who might want to start singing or performing but doesn't really know how to get their foot in the door?
Just keep plugging. Don't smoke.
Yeah, if I had to add anything from the experience I've been through, as you start putting your foot in the door and start maybe stepping and gingerly moving, get an education in the music business as well as playing music. That way, when you do start, the ladder starts moving, you've got a full grasp of the whole thing, and not just, because you can lose so much over here if you're not aware of what's happening around you. So, just stay alert, learn what you can as you go, and be determined and thick-skinned, because it's you're going to run across that the whole time. So it's got to be something you got to be committed and determined to do.
But more importantly, be true to yourself.
Yeah, agree with that.
Do your thing. Don't let anybody influence you.
Yep.
Play your thing. Just like I've heard other people say, groups like America, Jerry Beckley, he's like, be true to yourself, play your music, and let the world determine what classification you are.
Amen.
That is so true. Really, really true. Where do you want to have the band in the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you see Wanted Stranger?
Well, right now, we're all voted retirement.
I hope not on the epitaph or something.
Yes. Every one of us is right ready in our retirement years. So.
Okay, yeah.
And it kind of is ironic that it waited till we were this old before anything got recognized. But that just goes to a tribute that Wanted Stranger, we never stopped. Even when we weren't together as a team, Wanted Stranger was still there, and we were all still plugging. So when we did come back together, it wasn't like starting over. It clicked so well that we did, because his mother had asked us for her 85th birthday for us to get back together one more time. That was 2014, and we hadn't stopped.
And that's the other thing with music too. You gotta have that determination, because if you don't, you're not gonna make it far. I'm sorry, but you gotta have that grit and determination.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we do, which ain't always good for us, physically or mentally.
No,
and definitely financially.
There you go. Yeah, that's the biggie. That's the big part.
Yeah, you try to explain all this to your wife.
Yeah,
explain it to anybody, and they're people that are not tech savvy. They're gonna be like, "What is going on here?" They're probably gonna walk in the room. You could do an interview with somebody in that place, and they're gonna be like, probably jaw dropping.
Yeah, feel free to take you a picture. We'll pose.
Right.
Absolutely. So many people, and there's a lot of people still these days, believe it or not, and I know you know exactly what I'm going to talk about. But so many people look at musicians, as they're just this, they're just druggies, they're just da, 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 da. Listen, if you're a true musician and you love what you do in your craft and your art, you have this. And if you're not, you won't have this. It's what you put into it, it's what you get out of it.
Hey, Chuck, you got any input on any of
Chuck.
that, brother? Chuck has to work out of town, so that makes it hard on us too. So he has to come in on Thursdays, and then we would play tomorrow night. So he's sitting on the side of the road on his way in, and he spends his weekends with us, and that's not good for his home life either.
Do you have a message to those who might be watching or listening to this, Ron and Tony?
Thank you for listening to our music. We work very hard on it, and we put our life into it. For the only benefit we get from it is just the gratitude that somebody's getting to listen to it and enjoying it and touching their hearts. We all are Christians. We proclaim the word of God and Jesus Christ everywhere we go. And we always take that message with us. And Tony's an ordained minister. Dave Vault plays with us. He's an ordained minister. And we've also, Tony Malone is a member of the National Guard here as lieutenant. Chuck Gibson was 20 years staff sergeant in the military. And we got Dwayne Sturgill over here, who's cutting our video right now. He was in the military and was a wounded warrior. And Shane, one of our crew members, was in the military for 20 years. So we really honor all of our military vets. Everywhere we go, we dedicate music to them just on their behalf and spotlight our military veterans. That's just in our Lord Jesus Christ. That's what drives Wanted Stranger. And that keeps us going. But you got to do it in the God's time. So we've been patient.
Totally. So, if someone was to write a song about you or something that has happened in your guys' life, what do you think that they'd write about?
Wow, we've lived an exciting life for sure. We could have had a TV show at one time, a reality show with some of the drama that we had here with some of our musicians.
I think if I was looking at it like that, I would want a song maybe just on our journey itself that started out as we started out and then hit the crescendo, and being where we're even at now with guys like you and get wonderful to give us an interview and stuff, but just to kind of put that into a 4-verse, 1-chorus promise or something, just saying thank you to all our people and our friends and everything. We so appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Every single one of them, because they're dear to us, because we've been very limited on that number. So we definitely take that to heart.
If it wasn't for them, we couldn't be here.
No, we wouldn't.
It's the truth.
Yeah,
we do it for them.
I agree 1000%. If you guys had the opportunity to play anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? Thoughtful one.
I think
I'd like Soundstage myself. So have you seen any of the things on Soundstage?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a live venue recorded in front of an audience, and it's just nice. They take classic bands and record them and do a very good job of it. And it's just a classy look and feel, but colorful, vibrant, and music is just there everywhere. And I like that, but live scenarios, I like all of them. Some of our favorite gigs are our smallest and least paid shows. The people. What about you?
If I really just had to pick one place to do an intimate concert at, and I like the intimacy like he's talking about, but one place, maybe it's twofold, I guess. One of them would be the Ryman Auditorium. I would love to do a full concert there. And one of them would actually be right here in Johnson City, Tennessee, Freedom Hall, because that's where I grew up going to concerts. It'd be like a homecoming. So that may be two of the places I would love to do.
Where can people find you on social media, guys?
We're definitely at Wanted Stranger in Facebook. and Ron Carrier II at Facebook, or Tony Malone at Facebook. But we're at wantedstranger.com. We have a lot of links on that site. And Chuck Gibson he's on Facebook. He owns our Facebook site. But we don't have a whole lot of media set up yet. We've just run with the basic ones because we're all self-managed. So what you see is we do it ourselves. You know, I built the web page, and he writes the music, and you know, we just all have a place in it. So we haven't paid anybody to do any publicity for us. So it's getting to the point that we may look at that.
Awesome. Well, is there anything that I forgot to mention that you guys would like to mention today?
Well, one thing I'd like to mention, back in 2000, we got the opportunity to open up for Aaron Tippin. So that was a pretty big deal for us. And of course, back in the 80s, we done a show with Rosie O'Donnell, which wasn't, you know, I ain't too proud to say, but anyway.
It was a show with Rosie.
It was a show with Rosie. But anyway, Wanted Stranger just wants people to listen to our music.
Awesome.
It's out there.
And enjoy
it. We'll just keep on plugging, and hopefully somebody will like it.
Well, I would like to thank Wanted Stranger, Tony, and Ron for coming on the Kayden Gordon Show, today's Best Country Mix. Thank you so much for your time and support. Much appreciated.
Hey, thank you for playing our music.
Sure appreciate you.
Keep in touch.